Good evening, Rafael Gross with NoLimitCoin. I'm here to provide an update in terms of the project, and we're going to talk about the ERC20 Phase 1, the migration from our current chain to the ERC20 chain and beyond, the betting protocol update, and the new company that has been formed in order to pursue an expansion of the ecosystem and more platforms. So you can see right here, I've got what we call the betting protocol, and that's a very interesting piece of technology. It's exciting. Theoretically, it could handle not just millions, but even billions in terms of bets for very, very low fees using the existing infrastructure and technology that's already out there through different big platforms like Chainlink, like Polkadot, and so forth. Ethereum, obviously. So here is the NoLimitCoin Explorer, NoLimitCoin.info. And you can see that there's a tab here, ERC20 Swap Wallet, which reflects how much coin has been swapped. It gives you the address where coin is sent, and will also indicate if any ERC tokens have been issued. You can see we've been doing tests. There's 10 coin here. So theoretically, there would be 10 tokens here, but we've been using a test ERC token to perform this. So let's see how the swaps are done. And the first method is going to be through our web wallet. You're going to see a demo, and it's going to open up to everybody at the end of March, where you'll be able to send some coin into your web wallet. Here I've got 18,000 coin, and there's a page like this. It's called Swap. You basically enter your wallet address. Here's a test token wallet address that I've got, and let's send 8 coins or 8 tokens. We're going to send 8 coins. We're going to get, and we're going to say, okay, you're about to swap 8 NLC tokens, coins, for 8 NLC ERC tokens. So we say yes. You can see from 37 goes down to 29. It says 8 of the NLC2 tokens were sent to the wallet address, and 8 NLC ERC tokens are being sent to this address. And essentially, that's how you're going to swap. And we're going to reflect all the coin that has been swapped here. You have a link to Uniswap, to Etherscan, and that is going to be the first method. Now, as the wrapper gets deployed, then you're going to have two-way swaps. So we're very close to that, and you can see that really using Uniswap is very easy. I'm going to basically load this test token that we've got, and it's very easy. You just do it right away, right? So you can add a token, and it's called GTalk. It's a token that I was working on with a partner. He wanted it, I created it for him, but he never did anything. So we use it to test. So we're importing it, and there it is, GTOK, and then you can go and fund the liquidity. We have to add it here too. Oh, there it is. And then you can see all the transactions. So it's pretty simple process to add a token. So we're ready to do that when we finalize the swaps that'll happen against actual NLC tokens, which will be at the end of March. All right, so let's move to the website for the new company, NoLimit Technology Holdings. Very proud of this website. Came out very nice. And what we're doing here is we've created a brand new company in Nevada that we are going to use to expand our ecosystem, to add more platforms, specifically sportsbook, live casino, even some skill games. And within the sports betting area, multiple iterations of sports betting, and we're going to talk about that. So that's what you see here in terms of fantasy sports and poker will be part of No Limit to Technology Holdings, but Technology Holdings will be able to expand, raise more money, acquire more assets. We've talked about the platforms that we're adding, and the really the most exciting piece is the new technology that we are have designed and now are in the process of developing, which is the no limit betting protocol, which is going to essentially take a smart contract and allow multiple parties to establish bets, and then the smart contract determines who the winner is, pays them the coin, pays fees to the different parties, including NLC. In the case of NLC, those fees are burnt, and it happens every time that there's a smart contract that executes, and we're going to use data oracles from Chainlink to be able to power or inform the smart contract. So this is a very exciting image. It explains very clearly how the betting protocol works. You can see that there's tokens. Any token can be used for betting. It doesn't have to be no limit coin. So you've got Ethereum, you've got Tether, and as long as you power the smart contract with fees, which are going to be in the range of 0.1% or lower, then the smart contract will work with any token. Now, because it is a gambling application, there's very interesting governance features built into No Limit Coin that's going to allow it to control, restrict, in certain cases, comply with law. So it's a very unique governance model that is going to be implemented to make sure that even though we do put out a decentralized betting solution, that we have the ability to restrict from encroaching into specific markets where we may not want to because of laws, or limiting access from specific ERC tokens, because this is like the Uniswap of sports betting. You can add the token right away. You can start creating your sports gaming application. All the information is there. So it's very exciting. The other piece that is very exciting is our relationship with BetConstruct. We've been working with them for months now. We've got everything ready to proceed with the agreements and implementation of a sports book and a live casino, and in terms of skill games. So that's BetConstruct is one of the largest gaming operators. They have 3,000 employees. They have accepted the integration of NoLimitCoin, which is something that I've been wanting for years, but because of the help of one of our board of directors, which I want to talk about right now, we were well recommended. Even the CEO is aware of what we're doing. They've agreed to incorporate NLC, so we're ecstatic about BetConstruct and what it's going to mean for our ecosystem. All right, so this is really the image that kind of tells the whole story, and it really captures the complete concept and design of what we want to do. And essentially what you can see is it's a cross chain application. We're not really living in one or the other. We're living in multiple ecosystems, protocols. Certainly Ethereum, we know why we're there. We want to go to Uniswap. We want to store coins in ERC20 wallets. We want to go to more exchanges. So it's the only game in town right now, so we have to be there, and we're on our way. So yes, we will be an ERC20 token, but in order to perform the smart contract that we've been talking about, the burning of fees every time we close a smart contract, sometimes those fees could be a nickel, 10 cents, and we're not going to pay $10 to Ethereum to burn 10 cents. But when it comes to Polkadot parachains, there will be fees that are so small that you can actually get away with performing many on-chain transactions and not be worried about your fees. So Ethereum's out of control in that aspect, but we got to be there, right? So this shows very nicely how the Polkadot ecosystem is going to serve the purposes of what we're trying to achieve. You also see the betting protocol, which we talked about, where it takes, both sides of the bet. Everybody gets a little piece of the fees, and the smart contract does its work, while at the same time, the parties betting never have to give up control or custody of their money. You never have to send the money to the casino or to the online casino, because that's the big achievement. That's the big divide that we have crossed, that differentiates us, where we expect large sports operations to come use our betting protocol precisely because they won't have to send huge amounts of money like they do right now, where they interchange between sportsbook and sportsbooks to offset their actions. So it's a very industry-changing solution, and we're excited about that. And here we also show staking rewards. Currently, NoLimitCoin will pay you 4% through the existing wallets where you operate on your laptops or your own computers. But because eventually we do want to get rid of inflation, and we didn't have inflation just because we needed all those nodes, which became over 500 nodes, a very healthy and large network. But as we move into somebody else's chain, which should be Ethereum, Polkadot, and we start paying fees there, we won't need to have all our nodes, at least not after we move completely. So in exchange for that 4% that everybody was making, we've got a 5-year sunset in terms of staking that starts at 20, 15, 10, and 5%. So it's very aggressive up front. And essentially, it's a way to compensate everybody that went out, bought computers, wanted to help our network, and now we're saying, you know what, move over to ERC20. We don't need your computers anymore. You know what? You were counting on those 4% for multiple years. We're gonna say, here's a shock treatment. Here's 20, 15, 10, 5, and then we're going to 0, because that's what we ultimately want in the world of crypto, right? Deflation, not inflation. And on top of that deflation, you're going to have the coin burning through the smart contract. So it could be a very aggressive deflationary environment, which could spell a very solid coin. So this is a very beautiful way to explain and communicate what we're doing. And you're going to be able to download the white paper, which is right here. And essentially, we've been talking about everything. Here's the main protocol, and here it breaks it down a little more, where you see what's happening, right? You've got Chainlink with the data oracles that's telling us what teams won, what teams lost, and we're actually going to talk to our feed providers and turn them on to Chainlink and say, hey, you know what? Let me show you how you take your feeds, plug them into Chainlink. I need the data through Chainlink so I can power my smart contracts. But don't charge a lot, because then you price yourself out of the game. That's a different story. And here you can see how Chainlink provides the information, and then the betting protocol acts accordingly. And you can see that NoLimitCoin isn't the coin you use to bet. You can use anything, Ethereum, Tether, anything that's ERC20, and NLC2 is just the gas, or what's going to power the transaction, and the fees are going to be anywhere from 0.5% down to 50 1,000ths or a tenth of that. So we're really aiming to keep fees extremely low, so we can attract the biggest sportsbook in the world. And initially, the exchange is going to be exclusively wholesale. then other developers, because we're basically one developer on top of our protocol, but that protocol is open to any developer. We want anybody that wants to use that protocol and put it together, and then they have to power it with NLC2 to build on top of it. This white paper goes into depth regarding the betting protocol. We already talked about that. In terms of the wrapper, we talked about the wrapped Bitcoin and how effective that has been. So we're going to follow that that technology, use the smart contracts that have been tested to do our own wrapped version of the coin, NLC coin. And of course, we already know why we're headed over to ERC20 world. Talks about it there. Uniswap. We talked about Polkadot and so forth. A Moonbeam is a parachain on Polkadot. We're gonna use them. Kusama is the test chain. So before we get on Polkadot, we test our applications there. Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. Nexus Mutual is insurance. So if there are any very large operations or any operation, we're going to put a box that says, hey, you want insurance? It's an extra 0.5%. And what this insurance does is if there's any trouble, anything with the smart contract or anything, the insurance will pay. So it provides another layer of protection, and you're welcome to study the white paper where you can get from the new website, NoLimit Technology Inc. And let's get to my favorite image that we've been working on, which is the roadmap. Here we can really get a sense of what we're trying to do. We are moving in multiple directions. We are bringing our coin technology all the way up to the present. We are developing very sophisticated smart contract technology, but we're also deploying legacy type sportsbook platforms with BetConstruct. So all these things are happening. Let's see how we get there. All right. So we've talked about the ERC20 migration. We talked about how it's going to happen in the first round. We're also going to be able to do the swaps through the game. So if you have coin there, you don't need to move it. And then you're just going to have a button that allows you to change. Or we'll do it through the web wallet, which is how we found that. Very important event, crowdfund. We're very close to the launch of round one. And that's something you should stay tuned for. And there's a forum at the bottom we're going to talk about that. If you need investor information, please fill it out. We talked about Uniswap. Q2, we talked about opening up to everybody in terms of the swaps. Q2, we're going to open the DFS platforms back up and start building the development team for the betting protocol. We're going to be applying for licenses in multiple states. Colorado and New Jersey are the first states that are on our list. Costs are, high and involved, but that's why we're raising the capital. We're also going to establish a subsidiary company in Curacao to operate the BetConstruct platforms for international clients, the sportsbook and the live casino, which is going to give us access to a multiple of countries. And that's going to be a very good development. Then we're going to hit our second round, which raises us more money so we can start serious marketing. We're going to hire an ad agency, a professional ad agency, so we can channel our budget that way. And while at the same time, we've got our dev team, and we expect in Q3 to put out the betting protocol. It's not that difficult, actually. It's basically A against B, put the money in the smart contract, and make sure it's unhackable, right? And you're going to put insurance on it anyway. But it's going to be a very transparent process. Nobody's going to have to worry about bringing $10 or $20 million with their wallets to try to offset some of the action that these huge sports books get for a fraction of what it costs them now, and zero risk. Q3 2021, is when we're going to actually deploy the sportsbook from BetConstruct and the live casino. That's going to be extremely exciting with NLC2, with Tether, even with Fiat. And of course, NFL season comes right around. We have the Super Bowl that is today, but we're already talking about next year's Super Bowl, and certainly the next round, round 3 of raising capital, could either be a round 3, but there's been so much talk and so much excitement around SPACs, and some of my advisors have suggested that we look into it because they're so well funded, they're already public, it's easy to back into a listing being public through a SPAC. So that could be an option for our round 3, or we just go the traditional round. We're also going to evolve our licenses internationally to also include Malta, which covers Europe, and that's why we've got it here. And in Q1 2022 is when we're going to do a test deployment for the US market, because the US market can happen once we've applied and gotten approved. You can see we applied. So by Q1 2022, we're already going to be looking at the actual platforms for the US, which is different than internationally. They go through more rigorous tests. They go through GLI certification, which the platforms are already there. So awesome roadmap. Thank you, team. And this is also very nice part for me. I get to talk about the awesome team that's been put together. You see here the board of directors. Oscar, longtime friend, great professional at business, co-founder of NoLimit, and he's still there going strong. So there he is on the board. Everybody knows Dan Hensley from the crypto world, and we're very excited to have him as an investor, as a participant with tremendous knowledge and wisdom. And he's been there throughout, consulting with me, and I value very much his advice. And that's why I'm very happy that he mutually with me said, yeah, I'll get on your board. I'm sure everybody knows Cam Shepard, Crypto Daily. Maybe you know him as Fiat Daily. But it's very exciting for me to have him there in terms of his expertise in the blockchain world. And he's coming in as an interested investor, which makes me pretty proud. So welcome, Cam Shepard. And High Collegian. He's one of the most important gaming executives in America, specifically in California. And because of his recommendations, we were able to get excellent treatment and a fast track into resolving multiple issues, including the addition of NoLimitCoin to the BetConstruct portfolio. One of the largest gaming companies in the world. Very hard to get them to add small coins, but this was achieved. They're ready to do it. We've got the contract, so we thank Hyde for all the help there. And he's always been a great partner. We're partners in other things, so I'm glad that he is willing to help us with all his experience and wisdom. And then, of course, the dream team, Johnny Chan. I mean, what can I say, right? He's right there. He's ready to rock and roll. He's got his a poker room. He opened in Houston. It's packed to the hilt. He tells me anybody from our group that wants to go play live poker, go to Houston. We talked about doing the final table with Johnny Chan, not online, but actually physically in Houston. So once we open up the platforms, we could look at that. So very exciting to have that. Very exciting to have Hussein the Brain, Fantasy Couch. He's a legend in the fantasy football world. To have him consulting and helping us out, and really, I mean, when he has to step it up to bat, he really makes an impact. So welcome to him. Anthony, everybody knows Anthony. He's got incredible talent, and he's been extremely valuable in everything you're looking at right now and going forward. So he's been there. Dante, he's great business development person. Um, Thinks way ahead of everything. So I appreciate everything he does. We've got developers Pranav and Dharmesh. Danny's, he's right there waiting to do our ads, and of course James Stroud, right? He's one of the most intelligent people in our industry, so I'm glad he's just part of us. So very importantly, in terms of the new company, here's the package, the information package, so you can go to the website, fill it out, and then send in a request for investor package, and then we'll send out information when that comes out. And just a little bit of, we talked a little bit about BetConstruct, but here you can see all the packages they have. They have esports. We're going to essentially get everything they have. They have virtual sports. They have the live casino. We can see how exciting that is. And it's a very exciting company to have backing us, and that's where we're headed. So there's our company. We're soon to issue our investor package. You can see page 1 there, and once it's live, we will alert everybody on our list. So if you want to get on the list, then you can fill out the form, and you will get the information regarding our investor package that is going to be available probably in a few weeks, certainly in Q1. So that's the next step. It's an exciting step. It's the step that lets us continue to all of the roadmap goals, and eventually get to that betting protocol that potentially could provide an environment for the largest betting operators in the world to comfortably, securely, and easily come to offset millions and even more in bets, completely secure, and just paying a little bit of fees in NLC2. Have a great evening. Hope the Super Bowl was enjoyable to everybody. Now it's our Super Bowl. Go NLC, go No Limit Technology Holdings, and go community. Bye.